The Galactic Council had made a grave miscalculation. For 300 cycles, they had dismissed humanity as nothing more than primitive newcomers to the cosmic stage, a species too emotional, too reckless, too dangerous to be taken seriously. Commander Desiree Chen stood on the bridge of the UNS Retribution, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the Zeltrax invasion fleet decimating the peaceful Aurelian colonies. She had watched 17 civilian transports explode in the last hour alone. Captain James Rodriguez reports the stealth fleet is in position, her tactical officer announced. All ships awaiting your command, Commander. Desiree's jaw tightened. The Aurelians had been humanity's first true friends in the galaxy. When Earth had faced the Proxima crisis, the Aurelians had sent medical supplies and engineers without hesitation. Now their world burned while the Galactic Council debated protocols and jurisdiction in their pristine chambers light years away. Humanity had learned long ago that sometimes mercy required an iron fist. Send the message, Desiree commanded. All frequencies. No encryption. The communications officer nodded, and Desiree's voice echoed across every channel in the Warzone. Zeltrax Fleet, this is Commander Desiree Chen of the United Nations Strategic Command. You have 30 seconds to power down your weapons and retreat beyond the Aurelian system's heliosphere. This is your only warning. On the Zeltrax flagship, War Master Kreltok's mandibles clicked in amusement. The translation came through garbled and primitive, but the intent was clear. These humans, these soft, short-lived creatures dared to threaten the mighty Zeltrax dominion. His species had conquered 47 systems. They had fought and defeated races with technology centuries beyond what humanity possessed. Ignore them, Kreltok hissed. Continue the bombardment. If they interfere, swat them aside. 15 seconds remained on Desiree's countdown. Captain James Rodriguez watched the timer from his position aboard the UNS Phantom, one of 47 ships comprising humanity's stealth fleet. Unlike the grand vessels of other species, human warships had been designed with a single philosophy. Strike first, strike hard, leave nothing behind. Earth's bloody history had taught them that sometimes the only way to save lives was to end a war before it truly began. All ships, James transmitted on the encrypted channel. Weapons hot. Target locks confirmed. On Commander Chen's mark. The Zeltrax continued their assault. Another Aurelian city disappeared in nuclear fire. The timer reached 0. Execute, Desiree said quietly. What happened next would be analyzed by military historians for centuries to come. The humans didn't announce their presence with warnings or posturing. They didn't wait for formal declarations of combat. They simply appeared, 47 ships decloaking simultaneously around the Zeltrax fleet like sharks emerging from dark waters. And they fired. Human railguns, accelerating tungsten rods to relativistic speeds, tore through Zeltrax shields as if they were paper. Missiles with quantum guidance systems and nuclear-pumped laser warheads found their marks with horrifying precision. The humans had studied every battle the Zeltrax had ever fought, analyzed every tactical pattern, identified every weakness. The Zeltrax shields, designed to deflect energy weapons, did nothing against kinetic projectiles traveling at 0.3 C. The first salvo obliterated 12 Zeltrax destroyers before their crews even realized they were under attack. Shields ineffective, Kreltok's tactical officer shrieked. They're using primitive kinetic weapons at impossible velocities. Return fire. Kreltok roared. All weapons! The UNS Phantom's main cannon spoke. A beam of focused particles, powered by humanity's experimental fusion-catalyzed antimatter reactors, punched through the flagship's command deck. Kreltok's final thought was one of disbelief. How could a species so young be so utterly, terrifyingly effective at war? James watched the tactical display with professional detachment as the Zeltrax fleet disintegrated. Target the carriers. Don't let any fighters launch. The human fleet moved with mechanical precision. No grandstanding. No honor duels. No opportunity for surrender. They had given their warning. It had been ignored. Now they demonstrated why every major power in the galaxy feared humanity's admission to the Council. Humans didn't fight wars for glory or territory. They fought wars to end them. Within 8 minutes, the Zeltrax invasion fleet ceased to exist. 63 warships reduced to expanding clouds of debris. Not a single Zeltrax vessel escaped. The humans had positioned their forces to cut off every retreat vector, had calculated firing solutions that prevented any hope of withdrawal. The Aurelian Orbital Defense Coordinator, An elderly male named Veltran stared at his screens in shock. They saved us. In 8 minutes. Desiree's face appeared on his communication panel. Coordinator Veltran, humanitarian relief vessels will arrive within the hour. We'll help with planetary repairs and relocation of displaced populations. The Zeltrax won't be returning. Commander, the Council will protest this action. They'll say you had no authority. Let them protest, Desiree interrupted, her voice carrying an edge of steel. We didn't ask for their permission to stop a genocide. We asked the Zeltrax to leave. They chose violence. We answered in kind. She terminated the connection and turned to her crew. Send a full combat report to Earth and the Galactic Council. Include all tactical recordings. Make sure they see exactly what happened here. James docked with the Retribution an hour later. He found Desiree in her ready room, staring at the casualty reports from the Aurelian surface. Over 4 million dead before humanity had arrived. The Council is already screaming about our disproportionate response, James said, settling into a chair. They're calling us warmongers, savages. Let them, Desiree replied without looking up. 4 million Aurelians are alive because we acted. The Council would still be debating committee appointments while those people died. James nodded slowly. We're going to pay for this politically. I know. Desiree finally met his eyes. But James, what's the point of having the most dangerous fleet in the galaxy if we're too afraid to use it when it matters? We didn't become strong to win popularity contests. We became strong to protect the innocent. In the weeks that followed, the Galactic Council did indeed condemn humanity's aggressive military action. 17 species filed formal complaints. 3 ambassadors demanded humanity's expulsion from the Council. But quietly, in secured channels and private meetings, 12 other species contacted Earth's diplomatic corps, species who had faced threats from expansionist empires, species who had been told to wait for proper authorization while their people suffered, species who now understood that humanity offered something the Council never could, the willingness to act. The Zeltrax Dominion, witnessing the total annihilation of their fleet, immediately sued for peace and withdrew from 18 disputed territories. And across the galaxy, a new saying emerged in 1,000 different languages. If you want justice, petition the Council. If you want salvation, pray the humans are watching. Commander Desiree Chen never apologized for her actions that day. Neither did Captain James Rodriguez or any member of the human fleet. They had delivered their warning. They had given mercy its chance. And when mercy failed, they had delivered something else entirely. The cold. Calculated fury of a species that had clawed its way up from a planet of predators, that had survived world wars and near extinction, that understood violence not as glory, but as an unfortunate tool of last resort. Humanity had arrived in the war zone. They had crushed the enemy without further warning, and the galaxy would never make the mistake of dismissing them again. End.